ladies, and welcome to your 20-minute postnatal workout. This is going to be a nice, gentle 20-minute workout of 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. Really focused on restoring your core, working on the pelvic floor, improving your posture and flexibility, whilst not being overly strenuous. Please remember to clear yourself at workouts with your GP or midwife. I would recommend at least 6 weeks, possibly more, especially if you've had a cesarean section. For this workout you will need a set of light dumbbells and a resistance band, and I'd also recommend something like a yoga mat. Throughout this workout I'd like you to imagine that you have a set of springs between your bottom rib and your hip bones, and those springs are always going to be gently squeezing. So our posture is going to be not an arched back where the springs are extended and the ribs are flared, but equally not overly straining that core. So we're going to have this nice neutral spine, pelvis underneath you, but these springs, these invisible springs, gently squeezing, as if you had a pair of hands wrapped around you, bracing your core. I also want you to imagine your pelvic floor, those internal muscles that you would squeeze if you were trying to hold on from going to the bathroom. We're going to imagine those like a lift. So as you're performing these exercises, I want you to imagine squeezing those pelvic floor muscles up to the top of the lift as high as you can and holding them there. So we've got this core brace and this lift of the pelvic floor muscles, so that all of your deep core muscles are being braced while we're performing this exercise. So we're going for slow and controlled, holding that brace, rather than going for more reps with poor posture. The aim is to gently build that recovery and regain that strength properly, rather than overdoing it in those early days and ending up with an injury. Good luck, have fun.
First up we have our cat and cow stretch, so we're going to round the back as we inhale and arch the back as we exhale. Taking your time to move with your breath, and we're going to stay here for 40 seconds. Take your rest, and next we're moving on to a child's pose, extending back into a downward facing dog. So we're going to have the knees nice and wide and hips are sinking back towards the heels of the feet. Enjoy these last few seconds of rest, and here we go. Reaching the fingertips out in front of you, tuck the toes under and press the hips towards the ceiling. You can pedal the heels here, or you can just let both heels sink towards the floor. And we're going to continue to alternate between these two moves for another 40 seconds. Take another rest here, and we're going to move into a little chest stretch, spine opener. So we're sitting in a butterfly position with the soles of the feet together, and we're going to take the hands behind the back of the head. On the exhale, squeeze your belly button towards your spine and let your chin relax forward. On the inhale, lift the chest and the eye line to the ceiling. Feel a nice stretch through the upper back. Take another rest, and next we're moving into our bird dog extension. So on all fours with a nice neutral spine. Remember to squeeze those springs between those ribs and hips. We're going to slowly extend opposite arm and leg away from you, and then bring it back to switch sides. So we're exhaling on the extension, and inhaling on the recovery. Take another short break, and we're going to pop the band on for this one just above our knees, and we're moving into our forward banded walk. So you're going to start at the top of your mat in the squat position, making sure the knees are pressing over the toes. Keep the chest lifted and dropping the hips as low as is comfortable. We're going to take 4 slow controlled walks forwards and then reverse them. And again, we're repeating this move for 30 seconds, making sure to keep the belly button squeezed in towards the spine, chest is lifted, knees are pressing out over the toes. Well done, take another rest. We're going to do our sideways crab walks next. So back into our squat position, except this time we are walking 4 times sideways and then back again. And just to enjoy these last few seconds of rest before we lower into that squat. Lovely, take another rest, and we're going to repeat those forward and those sideways banded walks. If it starts to feel a little bit hard with the band, feel free to just do this as body weight with no band at all, and you can always build it back up to using the band. Great work, take that rest and enjoy. Next we're moving on to some banded hip abductors. So feel free to hold on to something for this for support if you need to, keeping the feet parallel. Again, bracing that core, lifting that pelvic floor, keeping the legs parallel. We're going to slowly lift one leg out to the side until we feel that nice squeeze in the side of the glutes. Lovely, take that rest before we move on to the other side. Here we go, repeating these banded abductors on the other side. Keep bracing that core, squeeze the belly button towards your spine. And take that rest. You can get rid of the band for the next exercise. We're coming onto the floor to work those inside thighs. So lying sideways on the floor with the top leg bent and the bottom leg extended, lifting up through the side of the body and keeping the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to flex the underneath foot and perform some little lifts, squeezing that inside thigh. It's going to be really good for your pelvic floor muscles. Great job, guys. Let's take our break and switch over onto the other side. Take that rest again, and you're going to pick up your light dumbbells for the next exercise. We're going to perform a squat and press with an overhead march. So weights are going to be at your shoulders. We're squatting down, pressing the weights above the head, and then performing 2 marches. Really thinking about using that core to squeeze the knees up towards the chest. Lovely, take that rest, get rid of one of your dumbbells and then hold the remaining dumbbell in both hands. We're going to perform a plate raise with rotation. So keeping the shoulders away from the ears, squeezing that belly button, bracing the core. We're lifting the dumbbell up to shoulder height, rotating to the right, back to center, and lower the weight down. And then repeat on the other side, and we're here again for 40 seconds. Take another rest, and when you're ready, we're going to pick the other dumbbell back up. We're going to repeat both our squat and press with our overhead march and our plate raise with rotation. Well done. Take another rest. We're going to pop the band back on above our knees now to perform our glute bridges. So as we lie down, we're going to think about pressing the lower back into the floor. And as we perform these glute bridges, you're really going to think about squeezing the glutes and rolling the spine up, vertebra by vertebra, keeping tension through the back of the body, so not completely relaxing the hips on the floor. Exhaling as we squeeze up, and inhaling as we roll down. Lovely. Take a rest and take a second to just relax the spine, roll the hips from side to side before we move on to our glute bridge pulses. So this time we're rippling our spine up to our top height in that glute bridge, and we're holding it at this top height and just performing little pulses, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the springs, driving through the heels and the shoulders, really controlling that breath as we perform these pulses. Lovely, take your rest. Last set of these pulses, except this time we're going to be pressing the knees outwards. So we're maintaining that height in the glute bridge, pressing the knees outwards to work the outside of the hips and legs. Great work. You can take the band off now, and we're going to lie on our side and move into our side planks. So underneath leg is bent, top leg is straight, lifting through the side of the body. We're going to press the hips up and then lower back down, exhaling as we press and lift, and inhaling as we lower. If you want to make this a little bit easier, you can bend both knees, or if you want to make it a little bit harder, you can stretch both legs. Take your break there, and we're going to move on to our hands and knees and into our bear hold. So shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, squeezing the belly button towards the spine. We're going to tuck the back toes under and lift the knees off the floor just a couple of inches, maintaining that neutral spine and bracing that core. And we're just going to hold here. If this feels too much, you can lower one knee at a time and gently march the knees. Great stuff. Lower the knees and take your break, and we're going to take our side plank on the other side. Rest there and take your break. We're moving on to our last move, which is our dead bug. So lying down on the floor, shins parallel to the ceiling and pressing the lower back into the mat. As you exhale, slowly extend opposite arm and leg away from your body and brace the core. Inhale as you return back to the center and then switch sides. Well done. Hug your knees into your chest, and we're just going to have a little stretch here. I hope you enjoyed your workout. I am open to feedback and comments. Please let me know how you go on, if there's anything you'd like to see added, and I look forward to seeing you back here for the next one.
Smile lit up like a sunrise glow. Touch so soft where the seasons flow. We met where the stars take their flight. Every moment with you feels just right. Whisper your name